Wartales is a tile and turn-based combat game similar to games like Xcom. It has a medieval setting. You manage a band of mercenaries, each with their own class and subclass, and various equipment to get, and other armor pieces, other things like oils to give for stat bonuses. There's a lot of customization. You can also tame animals as well. Well, tame, beat them near to death, and then tie them up. But potato potato. Wartales features a lot of nice features. Nothing crazy overall, just enough you know cherries on top to just make it a really nice time on top of a solid gameplay foundation. It's nice when a game isn't trying to think overly ambitious, particularly if it's like a small studio or just in general, or it's trying a bunch of things or just has some weird half-baked whatever. Like, it's just solid foundational standard gameplay with some extra fun stuff. Nothing crazy, just overall really good time. The combat itself is pretty good. There's really nice synergies and abilities. There's definitely a lot to do and mess around with a team comp and setup. Although it does take a good minute to level up. I mean, this also could be because maybe I wasn't playing the most efficiently. You probably could go and just absolute murder sprees and really stack the various bonuses for XP. But at least just playing not so much in like a super efficient way. At least not like lazying about, but just kind of playing like I suppose normally, whatever you would call that. It does take a bit, but it's not like the worst thing. Also, if you do end up playing the game, and apparently it's actually a recent addition to the game, but there was a class called crossbowmen, and their base attack, well, base weapons, I guess, allow them to attack twice with the valor points, which is the abilities, which you have a certain amount throughout the battle depending on your actions. You also start with base amount, and there's ways to modify whatever. But they get an ability fairly early on that they can select, which allows them to have an enemy be attacked if they were engaged with an ally, so the ally will do another attack at them, which is extremely useful because it will do the normal damage of your shot, but also have an attack again. Really good. So yeah, there's that. You should probably do it. It's very good. There are also the various executions that can happen for each weapon. I would like some of them to be a bit more creative, but there are some pretty good ones, like the pugilist, which just punching the absolute shit out of people with the guitars, which if you don't know what guitar is, it's like basically like knife blades, just knife, like it's like brass knuckles, but instead it's a big knife at the end of it. It's absolutely punching them. They go through a jaw, kick them off. The two-handed sword like slices the knee, and then like power drives him with the sword, and the enemy begs for life. It's very enjoyable to watch. You travel around the overworld with your troop marching, collecting resources, which I would like if maybe there was like a fast forward button. Although there are things to increase your speed, and I may or may have not like followed the game's instruction slash advice and looked at the compendium, which in the first 2 minutes you can unlock an ability, which your compendium is a bunch of passive stuff and some ability things. You can unlock with knowledge points, what you get from exploring and all of that. And yeah, you can just get the ability to run, which helps traverse things way quicker. And I just didn't do for some reason in the first like 10 hours of the game, even though you can get in the first like two. So don't be like me, don't do that, because that was really stupid. But yeah, exploration's pretty cool too. You can find tombs and you can get like treasures, which can like decode just like things you can sell for money or some nice weapons. You can get codexes, which you can decipher the runes you find within the tombs, and they have like not riddles, but I guess poems that can lead to more treasure. And there's these puzzles, which I definitely solved all of them this quick and didn't spend 2 hours on one of them, but not something that happened. Also, pittance, yes, a small little thing, and it could be because whenever like in a game there's some sort of like a rope traversal, give me a grappling hook or a zip line or anything I can kind of just like swing or just hook or whatever, my brain just goes ooh, like it just makes me like be like, yes, that I like that. That's good. Also making like shortcuts for yourself or just interacting with the map in a way like that. I always enjoy a small little thing, but really enjoyable. Also, it's like a nice little quality life thing too, so that's cool. There's also the camp management aspect to make sure you get enough food and all of that, but something that the game does really nice is progression. With unlocking more stations, equipment, and such by exploring the world, you also get the associated roles with the various mini games, lockpicking for thief, bard playing music, fishing for fisherman, mining and woodcutter have this like time circle thingy, and blacksmith you have a time thing with smashing in plates, and the better it is, the better equipment you get. Very simple stuff, nothing really crazy, just a And just like when it's like not just do action, get things, like there's a little bit of interaction involved with it. And I don't know what it is with progression systems, but even if it's somewhat bare bones, which I don't think this one is, it actually is pretty good. It it gives you just it gets just enough like a dopamine drip, just to like kind of you get a little bit more, especially when it's useful. Because the only time I think a progression system is like bad when it's like, hey, do this all this like shit, and you get like I don't know like pink camo. Like what? Who the fuck cares? Anyway, the jobs are also really nicely integrated with the characters since they also get bonuses to the stats progressively. So if it has whatever dex critical hit bonus to it, give it to a character can use that and whatnot. It's also cool to see you camp like slowly get bigger and bigger and have people do a job like on the campfire. I always really enjoy when you can like just watch like your people just do the thing. And they also get cool things like stuff like beehives, which is really useful since you can't buy honey in most places and usually in high quantities. And it's used in a lot of, well, I guess not a lot, but in a few different recipes, which are really useful to get some nice bonuses. Also, things like stocks, so you chain up a prisoner so they can't escape, or a stake to impale your enemies on so you can gain more influence by displaying their corpses proudly. There's also, well, if I haven't mentioned them before, because I re-recorded these a few times and they might be a little out of order. Never mind my messy video creation process. Anyway, the paths, which each are linked with the aspect of the game: combat, blacksmithing, trading, I guess professions, crime, either doing it or turning people in or just stabbing them in the back, archaeology and alchemy. By doing these related things, you get experience within those related paths, eventually gaining points or bonuses as you level up, and such levels giving other passives and things to craft, and other useful things like trade posts, which allows you to fast travel and great trade routes to move around through the areas faster and also buy things from those areas. A good number of quality life features, like you can buy trade goods to sell other towns for profit, or just vendors, and the things will light up green if it's going to be for profit. If it's actually going to be more than what you bought it for, and it would be a goal if it's a very good profit. Just like a tiny little feature. Same thing when you're near where a person can be used, it will light up so you can find your inventory better. There's a sorting feature which helps you go through your inventory, which sometimes it gets pretty packed. I still occasionally have hard time finding things, but that's also more of a me issue than anything. So I can't really blame the game for that. Although there is one thing that is really strange. I don't know why it is in the base feature, but it's something you need to unlock, is markers on the map. Just like, a guide marker, like pull waypoint. So I can, check the map constantly. It's not like a huge thing, but it's like, why do I have to unlock this? It's a fairly just unique, like not unique, just like base feature that's like standard in most games. Besides that though, there's a, good. I'm also not sure if I'm like wrong, like I'm misremembering things, but I don't really feel like a lot of isometric games typically have like full rotation of the camera. Like it's usually like a sharp 9-degree rotation. At least ones that like strategy, like the tile based ones. But this one, Wartales, it does, and the camera is really smooth. The game also is just like really pleasant to look at, and I don't mean like just the art style. Like there are art styles of games where I think I enjoy it more and think are like just really nice to look at. Which not to say that the game looks bad, but there's something about the lighting or something that just makes it look like good, like really soft on eyes, not straining. Like I don't really get strained when I look at computer screens unless I'm like really tired. But I don't know. There's something about the game that when I look at it, my eyes are just comfortable. I can't really define it exactly. I mean, like I said, maybe the lighting, but yeah, that's something the game's got going for it. I do have a few issues with the game. The story I wish was a bit more for the regions. Each has their own, which are fairly connected to one another. But at least for the first area, you have like two choices. And while it does seem like you kind of could do like a middle ground sort of approach, it was an either or. Second, there are some pretty odd, like, I don't want to say gaping holes, but like clear choices that like would totally make sense why you could do this. And maybe there's something hidden that I don't know about, but I didn't find it when looking it up. Like for example, there's like a sheep, like a sheepfold. I feel like they call it something else. I don't know. You can actually find the person who owns it, and it was abandoned because of a war going on in the region. They fled and all of that, and you can set the war there, but you can't lead them or even feed the sheep yourself. It just seemed like the only option is just to slaughter them, which, I mean, I don't know. I would kind of like if there's like a thing there besides it just being like a place where you can pick up resources. Again, maybe there was something that like I missed or whatever, but I mean, I kind like there's a few other quests, which I won't go through like all of them, but definitely seems like there should have been like another option for you to do something. Although surprisingly though, all the voice lines are like actually like voice acted. Like usually, I feel like in a game like this, you have sort of like a talking head, like make a sound. Maybe like the first part of a sentence is sort of like voice actor or whatever, kind of half voice actor, like hey, and then like be like a whole text bubble thing, which also nice things you know to do, which is just drowning in text. But some games just feel like doing that for absolutely no reason, and the dialogue is actually not like crazy, like oh my god, but like it was enjoyable to read and hear, and the lines were pretty well delivered too. So that's a nice little thing. The areas aren't as to explore. I just kind of wish there was more in them or more of them. Like you can pretty thoroughly explore the area and just not really have enough to do for your troop towards like a high level, and it's just like oh okay, like it just feels like it should be like a little bit more in each area, which you do also kind of run to the part which is a little annoying. Which I mean I get it, advertising your own game, fair enough for the own stuff, but like you'll find something and be like, oh cool, now a border crossing. I can't like, oh well, what's over here? Oh okay, that's DLC. Oh, that ship over there, that's DLC. Oh, what's this hidden little like wealth? No, that's DLC too. Okay, all right, all right. I mean, fine, sure, whatever. Advertise your own stuff in your game so you can like make sense. But it is a little annoying, I would say that, but not the worst thing. The game on top of that does have some pretty great playability, but story of regions, despite it being kind of limited, you do have like two separate endings, which like the endings aren't anything crazy, but it is something you can go and do for different awards because each one, it's the award choice will give you a different award. So you can do that, and also just starting a game again, knowing what you're doing, going for different team comp or just backgrounds or whatever. There is a reason to go through play the game. It's also just trying Iron Man mode out or running it hard in general, and for what I believe, like $25 like on sale, full price 35. It's pretty good. I don't like to use. Well, I do use the dollar metric, but like it isn't like a perfect one. Like $1 for 1 hour, because some games just by nature of them we've been playing longer than others. So on that it does really good. But I did enjoy the now over 100 hours I have in this game. So I mean, I did enjoy all of it. It was pretty good. Besides like the maybe the few hours I bit off more as I could chew and got really stubborn and safe scummed. But besides those things I do to myself, game's pretty good. And yeah. Oh, there's also a multiplayer that I just remembered to mention now, but that's because all my friends are bumless PC-less bums. So or the ones that actually do have PCs are incredibly hard to actually hold down, either as terms of getting to play games or just attention span. So but yeah, that's my issue, and it hopefully kind of entertaining, useful by now, and yeah, see ya.